I never liked drawing digitally. It always felt weird. Drawing circles seemed so much harder than paper. Zooming in would turn those luscious curvy lines into, well, this. Like, what the hell is this? Like, this is straight out of Minecraft. And it's still hard as fuck to draw. So I did, however, love seeing digital art, especially how it's made. Cause what do you mean you drew a few lines and it becomes this? Like, really, it doesn't make any sense. I really wanted to achieve this level, no matter what it took, even if it meant being scared. So, starting this new year off, I wanted to take a leap and to sort of push myself a little bit more into the kind of artist that I wanted to be. And I knew that the biggest hurdle was going to be jumping over digital art. And today, I will be showing you guys the fruit of 8 months of drawing every day or so, or every other day, for 8 months straight. So that is a total of 240 days of drawing. Maybe cut that in half because it's not every single day, but it's definitely more than 100.
Your username is hid, bro? What does that mean? Hello.
These were a few things that I made before I started this challenge. This was me just trying to get used to it, trying to learn. I'm picking what application I wanted to use because that was a big thing. You have so many different applications that you can use, from Procreate to Clip Studio to IBI. That one program that's named after a bowel syndrome, but I chose Photoshop. And this was really because it was the only thing that was understandable to me and I only had experience in that. And I knew that it was still possible to make some crazy stuff like this, you know, like it's crazy. And I wanted to get that. I wanted to jump there so quick. As you can see in previous videos, I did it, and you can see I have a long way to go. I didn't realize it at the time. I was just whimsically doing it and just being free. That's something that I'm glad I felt, and it shaded over the fact that I lacked so many skills. Not saying that I'm a lot better, but I'm a bit better than I was before. So I'm not crazy there yet, but I'm like, let me just show you what I did, bro. Marvel Rivals. Wow. Damn. At this point, Marvel Rivals just recently dropped and I really love the art style. And if you guys haven't watched the Marvel Rivals video, I was trying to redraw a lot of it. I think this was a lot of the practice that I was doing at the time for that video. I wanted to have a specific portion where I did it digitally as well, which I don't think ever made it to the final cut. This is what I was doing, just trying to draw Scarlet Witch. You can very much tell I didn't really know much of what I was doing. I don't know. It was a very weird time. During this time, I was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm gonna come out like. Like, I know what my art style kind of is in my sketchbook and what I expect for myself, for my work to look like traditionally, right? Even though my style is still developing, I think I have a lot more of like a concrete understanding of what I like to see and what my art style looks like. But digitally, bruh, it's a whole different ball game because there's so much different things that you can do. You can go through like the graphics design round and just focus more on rendering and how things look in the final process of it all, or you could focus on trying to replicate that same traditional art feel digitally as well. And I didn't really know which side to take in that. I think at the back of my mind, I was kind of more leaning towards the stylized and the graphic design. You know, just the artisty kind of look. I don't know how to explain it, but that was just kind of what I wanted to make it look like. That was what inspired me the most as well. Remember when I said that I would literally just outline what I drew in my sketchbook? This is like a great example right here with this Penny Parker piece as well, because prior to doing the Scarlet Witch piece, I did this, which was also for a video as well, that I think I was outlining that I never finished too. I mean, the sketch wasn't bad. I think I did it that same morning. I like the hands, a bit too blocky, but hey, I'm a fan of blocky hands, okay? Just a reminder to, you know, do the thing. And also, YouTube put out a new feature for the hypes, so please be sure to use your hypes in this video. It really helps push out the video. Thanks. I was drawing this like, oh damn, this looks cool. This looks so cool, bro. Look at it now. There's a lot of errors that I'm seeing. Well, that I'm glad that I can see now, you know what I'm saying? Just because I've been practicing a lot more and my eye has kind of evolved. I have the Sharingan now. Sorry. So mind you, bro, at this time, I was not flipping the canvas at all. Bro, look at this box that I drew. I couldn't draw boxes, bro. Like, even before that Penny Parker piece, I tried drawing Penny over here. Oh my, bro. So you can see right here that I just had no process. I was just like, brush on paper, let's go. Dude, at most points, I was just drawing on the base layer. I didn't have a layer on top, so I wasn't like layering my stuff properly, which I kind of still do now, which still pisses me the hell off. Because you'd want to erase something, and it just erases everything. And it leaves you with the PNG transparent stuff at the back. And it's hell drawing on that. You can't see nothing. You're legally blind. You can kind of see how we ended up here. I don't know where the file is. You guys are just gonna see it here, okay? It's been a while since I've recorded a video, so I'm sorry if I'm rusty. I've never been depressed. Now, one thing I actually forgot to tell you guys was that a lot of these drawings I did were either in school when I was just bored and procrastinating, or when I was at home and I was bored and procrastinating. Sometimes I would actually just draw by myself, and this was one of my homies' OCs that I drew, and I tried to do like a talking mouth kind of like idle animation thing. You can see like the layers that I had one for the mouth, cut it out. I still really like this to this day. I don't know how the hell I locked in and did did this. But I think one thing that I'll definitely change will be like on this side of the head, I will probably jut it out a bit more just for the eyebrow. But I really like it a lot. I really nailed it on the eyes, and he told me that too. Love you.
This nigga's a homosexual.
We have Untitled 1. What's Untitled 1? Oh, so this one was when I did it in school. This started off as like a weird sketch that I did. The plan for this was to make a new stream thumbnail, which we'll see later, because I actually ended up working on one and recently finishing it. The people who come up to the streams, you'll see it. It's pretty nice. There are some things that I want to change about it, but I'm still proud of it at the end of the day. I don't know what the hell this page was. I think this started off as like a simple sketch that I did. One habit that I really started doing was just making my layers just opaque as hell. It made the canvas a lot less like busy, and it made it a lot more clear, and I wouldn't get overwhelmed, because I easily get overwhelmed, bro. I don't know why. I always did. And I just got anxiety, okay? So I built up from this. Oh my god. I just know for this one, I zoomed in all the way. This was a rough sketch for what I did for the final piece. And it was kind of like my OC with his broken glasses, and he's just so done. He's just so done, bro. He just doesn't want anything to do with anybody most of the time, honestly. He's just tired, bro. He's just tired. Kind of like a visual representation of how I felt with the broken glasses. Me being able to see the truth in all the bullshit that was going on in school, because all the shit that was going on during that time should not have been happening. This will actually build up into another piece that I found, which was pretty cool, that I need to finish, because the concept of that was really cool. And I think with this piece, one of the things that I just did that helped me visualize it a lot better was just not caring too much of the details and fixing stuff later. That was one of the things that I wish that I actually knew earlier. You have to just create the idea first, and you can worry about the details later. And I promise you, you will get faster. You will not get as attached to your work. It's good to be attached to your work, because obviously you need to like what you're making, right? And you need to, you know, form a connection with your art and your process and whatever you're making, or that hot OC that you have in mind. You know what I'm saying? You gotta form a connection with that. And that's where that love and consideration shows in your art. If you put in the effort, it will show. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you're right. But like, you can tell that there's definitely a little bit of a hyperpigmentation on that, you know? Being so focused on the minor details so early on really stops you from looking at the bigger picture. I think that's one of the most important things about digital art is, and honestly art in general, and you could probably take this into other aspects of your life, is that looking at the bigger picture and then focusing on the details later definitely saves you from a lot of anxiety. That was one thing that I was dealing with all the time during art, and this was one of the first times that I was drawing digitally that I didn't really care about it that much. My third eye was opening, but I shut it ASAP because I never worked on this. It was in the whip dumpster. I have a lot. I think these were sketches that I did on stream. There's a lot of layers here. I think this was Biju's character that I wanted to do actually. How big was I expecting this guy's head to be, bro? I was trying to make Megamind over here. And I built it up with the hair too. Oh, I did not follow these guidelines whatsoever. Now I went along and did some more box studies. The thing for sure is that my boxes have gotten better. This was like the only time that I practiced boxes. Picard was like, oh, practice your boxes. I was like, cool, okay. I drew 4 boxes and that was that. That was the last time that I consciously drew boxes and just practiced the fundamentals of perspective. I just dealt with the perspective as I dealt with it on the pieces itself. The only time I would draw boxes is when I would draw hands. Hey, just bite the bullet and draw the boxes. You can do it while you're drawing. One thing that I like to do is that while I draw, especially if I'm drawing the face and I want to understand the perspective of the face really well, I draw very, very faintly like a box. If I was to turn the character's face into Minecraft, yes, fucking nerds. If I was to turn the character's face into Minecraft, where would Steve be facing, right? Try and draw that and it helps you understand where things are gonna be. Honestly, if you break everything down to a box, that'll help a lot because help with the planes, help with the perspective, and make everything fit a lot more. What was this? I think this was me trying to... Is this a Kagurabachi inspired piece? Yeah, I know it's rough. I know it's rough. Why is the lip so small? I mean, it's not... I think the eyes are just too big, bro. Good lord. And then the hand, bro, the full opacity. Oh my god, bro, I'm scared. And then I built it up to this, which was again inspired from that one Kagurabachi panel. These were a few other doodles that I did. This was one of the first streams that I did actually. We tried to draw Uno Miles. You guys were telling me to draw Uno Miles. I wanted to draw Dandadan, so we were like, F it, let's fuse the two together. And we drew Uno Miles as Okarun's guy. Yeah, and then I tried to outline it. I was like, I'm gonna finish this. I'm never finishing this, bro. And then y'all told me to draw an elephant. Posted this on my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Honestly, I prefer this piece a lot better than the previous one. This one's so much better, bro. Shout out my dog Okurum. Shortly after this in the timeline, okay. Living in the dream state. Oh my god. One of the second streams that I did was actually a Kagurabachi volume redraw. Never touched again. I think it was also just because got a bit burnt out of it. I definitely want to tackle this again because it was kind of like a flipped version of the volume cover with him slowly bringing out the sword. Expectation and reality. Yeah, I had no knowledge of shadows. I still don't. I have a better understanding with it. This was one of those cases where the sketch kind of looks better than the colored piece. The line art just was not that good and it didn't really keep up to the way that I wanted it to look like. This wasn't a bad sketch. I liked it. I look at could have built it up with like kind of like a glint coming out that like parted like the page, and that's why I could have shown like the characters on it. Shortly after, I drew a Matsuri piece based off of the Boruto manga because I recently read a chapter during that time and I was like, damn, her design is so cool. It's not the Matsuri that we know in Naruto. It was a Shinju version. I'm not gonna explain the lore. I really F with her energy. She was like, oh, you like someone else? I'm gonna kill you. Need that type of energy. Warmed up with these kind of like pieces. I don't know what the hell I was doing. This was the expectation and this was the reality. I just tried to be as ambitious as I could with this. I worked with the hands separately. Chunky ass hands, by the way. Again, this was before I was flipping the canvas, so I was just drawing from one way of drawing. I don't know if that makes sense, but like when you flip a canvas, it allows you to look at it from another perspective. Kind of, it like helps like reset your eyes to kind of look at it from a different direction and allows you to see what it looks like in a different way, and it allows you to get that eye reset without you having to go to sleep, wake up, and to be like, what the f did I draw? I definitely should have fixed up the shoulder here, bro, because what I was very much abrasive towards using references. I think it was coming from a place where I was like, if I want to see what I can produce digitally, it has to be raw as hell. So with as minimal influence as I saw at the time could have been used, which I later came to find out that using references is good influence. Influence is fine in the process of drawing. This expression actually isn't bad, bro. Not bad at all. Okay, maybe I am being a bit hard on myself. When did I do this actually? This was definitely on stream when I tried to redraw Yuji. I was doing a pose that I had never done before, bro. I should have just taken a picture of myself doing this, honestly, because I wanted to take inspo from when Yuji was clapping, you know, at the end of season 2. Did this first sketch and it was not the best at all. Did this, didn't F with it at all. The idea was that the wind was gonna be blowing and it was gonna be pushing his like weird hoodie thing that he has. Next, what I worked on was actually a new OC design because I finally caved in. I was like, I'm tired of the way my PFP looks like on my Twitter, and I was like, let me update it just so that it's a lot more modern. And that was a cool design for the hoodie that I wanted to like make out, and I also wanted to test out with other like hoodie designs and stuff like that because hey, I didn't know what to clothe my character in. I always had a green hoodie that I liked when I was younger, so I was like, let's put that shit onto it. I was trying to go for a lot more minimalistic kind of look, so I wanted it to like the face as well, also because I didn't know how the face was gonna look like below, so I was like, let me kill two birds with one stone. I like the way I shaded like the hair. Missed out this whole portion of the hair too. Yeah, I did not fix that shit. I mean, you didn't notice, right? Right? Shout out to my friend Tyra for giving me that idea. I just took inspiration off of their redraw of my character. And this was from another stream where I was doodling again. And I found this inspiration off of, oh my god, we were looking at food on stream and I was rating the shit. Yeah, nah, this was kind of, bro. Is this rare nephews? Why you got alcohol with a side of brown rice with what? Potato sauce thing? What is this, bruh? This was one of the bigger pieces that I did on stream. Honestly, there's another one too, but this is what I would call kind of like the freak arc. I don't know, during this time, bro, I just liked drawing weird expressions. I think there's something really endearing about weird expressions, like it captures more attention, right? It tells a lot about a situation that's happening, or like it tells a story. I feel there's a lot you can tell from an expression or about a person through a character. Thing that I didn't know about this character was that he wasn't black, and I was slowly turning him black because I had no knowledge of how to color skin if it wasn't black skin. Because black skin's kind of easy, you just go darker. You know what I'm saying? But if it's lighter skin, like I know Shido's tanned, right? But he's not black. So it was kind of funny people coming into stream and being like, oh Lamar, why are we turning him black? Also, I was thinking of doing a video of like turning anime characters black. I feel like that could be very problematic. But if you find that problematic, I don't know, maybe you're the one that's problematic. Ooh. I never added the pink. This sketch looks so good. I really like this sketch. This is one of my favorite sketches still. Tongue is crazy. Hey, maybe I was doing too much in this. And I was doing too much in this one as well. I was drawing Baby Boy from Gachi Akuta. Looking back at this, why is his teeth so big? I don't know what kind of thing I was sniffing making this, but I was like, I think this is kind of tough. I just decided to give this guy the longest neck in the world, bro. Shout out to Kate. So at this point in the timeline, we're about 3 months in out of the total 8 months that I did doing this whole journey. And honestly, if I was to give myself a grade throughout this whole arc, I would give myself maybe like a D or a C. That's mostly because I had the ideas, it's just that the execution wasn't there, but I will give myself an A for effort because I was still willing to put myself out there and to, you know, put the work that I wanted to put onto paper, or rather on screen. Let me know what was a few of you guys' favorites. For me, it was definitely the Shido pieces or the one with the broken glasses. I think that one is definitely my favorite. Worst one, definitely You Know Miles Down the Dawn. I'm so sorry, that one is F tier, bro. But moving on, this is kind of like a more transition arc. Now, March to June, one thing that I realized, especially now looking back, I had zero confidence. Sure, I was able to follow the tutorials, I was able to push through and try and visualize what I had in my head onto the digital scape. I didn't really have any identity. That was very, very apparent, only because I wasn't really that connected to my pieces at all. With the pieces that I made, I didn't really want to look back on them a lot because I felt kind of disgusted by them. A little bit. Okay. A lot. That's why I barely looked at previous streams. That's why I didn't even like bother to organize my files a lot. Just because I didn't want to sift through it. I was really disgusted by it and I just wanted to work on my sketchbook because I was a lot more connected to that. It was a lot more easier for me to just go through it and I could see what I was like before and I still appreciated it. Meanwhile, digitally, bro, I was like, this is horrible. And I think it's also because like I'm chronically online. Hey, we all are. Every single day I'm seeing amazing pieces done by my mutuals and from other people that I followed and people that I look up to, and I'm like, damn, I want to get to that point. And it was really frustrating because these guys seem to have a whole sense of identity, captured style and a captured process that they really felt comfortable in and could just continue churning out on a semi-regular basis. Also just because we're humans, we're not robots, right? So we can't just, you know, the way I'm saying it now is like I'm being so hard on myself, but hey, if I was to go back in time like 4 months ago to tell myself this, I'll be like, hey, it's not that big of a deal. It's part of the process. And that's because like this is a new medium to me. Just like how oil painting was a struggle for me a little bit. Watercolor is the bane of my existence. Color pencils, even pen. I had beef with pen when I was learning that thing in the 9th grade, bro. But now it's one of my favorite mediums to use. If anything, it's my preferred medium to use. I just had to get used to it, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't happen just like that. I mean, like for some people are a lot more comfortable with other mediums than others. For me, digital is just such a different landscape, and I think I was also just very much overwhelmed by the potential of it all because there's so many different aspects of it that you could do. It's not like oil painting where there's like a set of rules of like the basics of what you can do with it, but with digital, like it's just like an open sea, bro. It's like the grand line. You don't know what's out there. There's a lot of shit out there, and a lot of these pieces are going to reflect that as well. Let's take a look. See this file right here. I know there's a lot going on. Why is there a chicken nugget on the right side of the screen? That's because on stream I was bored. I wasn't really sure what to draw, but I was like, F it, I'm gonna just see what I do. And I'm not gonna tell what I'm doing on stream to the niggas in chat. This just started off as like a singular blob of just orange, right? This orange right here turned into a chicken nugget with barbecue sauce. I don't even like McDonald's chicken nuggets like that, bro. They taste like styrofoam. I don't know. As a Nigerian that has come to the North American region, McDonald's is the most overhyped place ever. I'm sorry. The fries are cool. Popeyes beats them by a landslide. I'm so sorry. Like that just has to be said. Crucify me. I'm here. Shoot where? Hey, look, I drew Sojo though. My glorious king. You know what I'm saying? You know? If you know, you know. I use this pose so you can see now that I've actually given in and actually started using references. And this is great because I feel like with this pose, I could really show off Sojo's tenacity. And for the people who read Kagurabachi, you guys already know what kind of demon Sojo was. We still shout the praises of Sojo to this day. He will come back. He will get like reanimated. The second great ninja war of Kagurabachi. Let's go! Okay, bring back the original Sazanami guy, bro. One thing that I really like about this is that you can see the little seeds of my own process kind of blooming from this. My attitude with this file, I guess, just came from me just saying F it. Well, not necessarily F it to all the rules that I learned, but I took it and I internalized it, but I wanted to mix it with what I felt was right and what I wanted to do. So I wanted to swim within the bounds of what I was taught by the YouTube gurus. And I think that's what you should do too. Whatever feels right to you, go with it it and trust it, because you don't really know how it's gonna come out. I just really like hatches, and I was like, is there a way that I could implement hatching into like a cell shaded kind of vibe? Went into that, and I think I came over with a breakthrough, a little, just a small bit, just a small explosion. I did a few whips here and there. I don't even know where they were at. I just kind of took my time with it. I had to learn to be patient with myself. I'm not gonna get it on the first try. It's okay to make different iterations of things before making the final product. I think that was taught to me in my 9th grade art class, but I was so in my own head of trying to be competitive and trying to get a freaking good grade at a subject that I actually liked that I completely forgot to actually learn art. I was more focused on trying to submit the assignments on time, also because my art teacher was kind of a demon. I know that he wanted us to just produce art, and he was very passionate about it, but that man was a workaholic and he pushed that onto us, so it made a very toxic class. Following that same rendering practice that I did, I kind of started that off again. I don't know, I wanted to work on a video that I was gonna put out that never came out, that's still a work in progress, on my boy Intro, and that was me giving him like a little hollow purple. Rendered that out. I just switched off my brain. I was like, let me see what I could do with these fun colors. Did some rendering practice on that, and then after that I did a little sketch for a piece that I did of his character in the style of the FMA ending of his character, because I know that he loves that. I'll be putting in a video that will come out very, very soon. Hey, it's actually coming out soon, okay? Sorry, Intro. Moving on. You could also see like the random rendering things that I did over here. I made the most luscious looking grape in the world. I don't know why I did that. I was also just practicing like the rendering style that I kind of wanted to go for, well, rather like the shading look that I wanted to go for with my pieces. So I was like, why not practice it? Now it looks kind of more like a plum because I didn't use as many reds as I could have. Oh, yo, the Daima episode dropped, and I really like the design of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This was like the first time that we've seen it like canonically. Yeah, because Daima's canon, right? And I really like the bigger forearms and the bigger hands. Very animalistic, which is what the Super Saiyan 4 transformation really like. This stream I was just mostly drawing from a lot of things that would just kind of like give me that neuron activation. And one of the things was from a lot of Kei Urano's work, and they drew this character. I haven't met them yet, but expressions. I like the way the teeth were set and the way the tongue stuck out, and I like the way I redrew him, man. I think I did a good job with that, man. Just used gray just because it helps me just understand like the values a bit better. Some Chainsaw Man stuff over here, actually. I don't know what I was drawing. Oh, I wanted to draw my girl Naruto from like a pose where she was like kind of looking down and pointing down at you, which if you know, you know. It's a very iconic kind of like tongue-in-cheek kind of thing that calls back to who she is and who she was, and you know, her true nature. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you putting... Oh, I think you're putting it down. Oh, okay. I'll give this a B ranking. Like what I said about making different iterations of the things that you want to draw. It's okay to do that. This really helps me understand like what like the hand was gonna be, like the rotation and the perspective of it. This one though, I just wanted to practice forearms. So I forgot where I found the tip. When people would break down like anatomy, they would use a lot of cylinders. So I was like, that's so much better because I can understand like the planes a lot easier. And so I just practiced it out and tried to build up something. And I think this was definitely inspired from one of the artists that did that one piece with like, you know the one I'm talking about, right? The one with like the... So I kind of wanted to reflect that and to do it from a different position. Looking back now, it kind of looks like a Naruto run, but these fists are really good. W fisting. W fist. Took a reference from this and tried to draw it as well. I drew my wife. Aw, my wife. I forgot to put in the glasses, but hey, she still look good though. Long ass neck, bro. Not long enough. Oh, I basically drew a terrorist. Looking back now, it's not that bad. I was stressing when I was drawing this because I was like, why do the eyes look so weird? I think it's because I was trying to draw it in a different perspective, but I also wanted to copy the main reference to a T. I was very much conflicting between those two. I think I was focusing way too much on the details way too early. Deadass, make it exist first, follow up with the details later. Like, I promise you, it'll save you so much time. And flip the goddamn canvas, you'll be Gucci. This next one we're moving on to is actually one that I'm really proud of. So remember what I talked about relying on references and having my own plan? I decided to kind of push myself a little. This was during a time when I think Invincible was dropping, and there was a lot of really cool fan art that I was seeing at the time. And I think during that time, people were doing like their different variants of Mark, right? So I was like, number one, which character would I be? And number two, how would my OC look like within it? I really effed with Conquest. He was a batshit crazy old man. I'm so lonely. I feel like if I put the headboard design in it with the scar, because I also have a scar over here, you know, I got into a crazy fight No, I cut myself trying to feed my cat. I wanted to add the horn to it and have it like cracked as well to show the story of how like that scar happened and how it affected Head Bro Conquest. I still really like this a lot. This is still one of my favorite pieces that I've done. It's not even finished yet. This was a piece that I don't even know how I created it, because throughout the whole process of this, I was just afraid. That's just something that you have to lean more into as you go into it. As daunting as the task is, you have to lean into the discomfort. Staring it away from like art talk. As a person that has a lot of anxiety and didn't even know that I had anxiety for most of my life, it's okay to lean into the discomfort at times. Sometimes when you're feeling that way, it's probably for a reason, right? It's good to analyze it. Don't overanalyze, right? You don't want to go into that spiral, but it's okay to sit with the discomfort sometimes, right? It might be in a position where you might benefit from something just from that little bit of discomfort. Even today with this video, I did not want to record this video at all. It's been like 2-3 weeks since I've recorded a video and I felt really bad about it. I promise you're gonna get a lot better because you're not gonna be as afraid to take on the risks that you want to take in life in general as well, right? Back to art, right? The line art was really good. I tried not to have it overshadow the sketching too much, and I wanted to keep the colors light just to still show like the expression a lot better, because I really like the roughness of my sketches and I think it adds a great layer of texture to my work. Sure, I could put in like a texture layer and put on a multiply and then, you know what I'm saying, like photo bash it in, or I could just like paint over it, you know. But I really like how in this piece I showed great discipline in not just doing the same cross-hatching kind of like thing everywhere. I think it helps really balance out what to focus on, what not to focus on, you feel me? Because with the clothing, I didn't really know what to do. All I know was that it was gonna be green and he was gonna look like WhatsApp Invincible Man. So as I was conquesting it, I was like, F it, I'm gonna make him bald. I hope this isn't me manifesting myself being bald. Oh my god, I give this an A. I give this an A. Damn near an S. Probably the best piece that we've had so far, and we'll have for a while. Post it on Twitter. Follow me and follow, and like and subscribe. Thank you.